Ben Roethlisberger and three of his Steelers teammates were deemed to have had high-risk, close-contact exposure to tight end Vance McDonald on Sunday before McDonald knew that he had tested positive for COVID-19. That means a mandatory 5-day isolation period if Big Ben and the other Steelers players all test negative, remain asymptomatic. They can be back in the facility on Saturday for a walkthrough and play on Sunday against the Bengals. There's also the issue of the knee injury that Roethlisberger suffered on Sunday, but Coach Mike Tomlin said that's normal bumps and bruises, nothing that will keep Ben out for Week 10. He is allowed inside the facility for rehab. MJ just has to go when there's not a lot of people around and everybody wears PPE.
Now at this point, just a waiting game to see if he clears. All right, Tom, also around the NFL, the owners approved the contingency plan for the playoffs. What are the details on that?
This is just a contingency plan, MJ, in the event that COVID-19 forces the cancellation of meaningful games that could impact playoff seeding. Then the NFL unanimously approved today a plan in which they would expand the field from 14 to 16 teams. Now, Commissioner Roger Goodell also made clear, Plan A is still to play all 256 games over 17 weeks and play the Super Bowl on time February 7th in Tampa with fans. Plan B, add an 18th week, make up any games that you need to. What was approved today is really Plan C, and there was a late amendment to it as well. Teams would not be reseeded based on record if they go to the 16-team format. It would be the normal format in which the four division winners host wildcard games. Meanwhile, another impactful resolution that was approved today would reward teams for developing minority coaches and front office executives. If someone leaves a team for a general manager or a head coaching job, the developing team would get 2 third-round compensatory draft picks. If they lose 2 people to both those jobs, they would end up getting 3 picks. NFL executive Troy Vincent, who has championed this, described it on a conference call as just another piece of the overall picture what the NFL is trying to do to create mobility, not just for black coaches and front office executives, but other minorities and women as well. MJ?
All right, Tom Pelissero, thank you. All right, again, to some other news, Odell Beckham Jr. is out of surgery. OBJ posted this on his Instagram page with the caption, "Sit back, relax, and watch God work. Now let the journey begin." We wish you a speedy recovery, Odell. Time now for our NFL Total Access Game of the Week.
Here is Murray. Murray wending his way. Touchdown, Cardinals.
Boy, is he special. Josh Allen takes the snap, going to keep it himself, runs to his right, gets inside the 5, into the end zone, touchdown Buffalo.
Short set, throws a deep ball. Left side, single coverage, and it is pulled in by DeAndre Hopkins, and he's got a touchdown. What a catch by Nuke.
Josh Allen rolling to his right, looks, fires, touchdown! Stephon Diggs somehow brought it in. This is Buffalo Bills football.
Airing it out, middle of the field, he's got Kirk, touchdown, an 80-yard strike.
Boy, it doesn't get much better than that.
Oh, yeah. Bills Cardinals is our Total Access Game of the Week, which means we get a Josh Allen, Kyler Murray QB battle. And here's how the two match up. So Josh Allen, both of them pretty similar here, pretty close when it comes to completion percentage. They have the same number of total touchdowns, but Allen has the higher passer rating with 107.2. Michael Robinson and D'Angelo Hall here with me. And Rob, you called this one, man. You know I'm going to give you your props when your props are due, my friend. But what really impressed you, and how much has Josh Allen improved in your eyes from what you saw?
Yeah, Josh Allen, he's improved last year from this year, but I've seen this young guy improve in season. I think he needs to continue to listen to Elvis Presley. I've heard that he likes to listen to that before games because it has really calmed him down in the pocket. You look at right here, he's going to high-low Jamal Adams right here. Look the safety off, make sure the safety takes the cheese, takes the bait, and then throw it right over his head as he has a vertical going across the other safety's place. I mean, just dropping dimes on this past Sunday. And this is what I love. Max protection. You have everybody in, only 3 guys going out on the route. You look one way, you look the other, but look how he's throwing from a well. Other weeks, he would have ran out of here and tried to create space with his legs. I love what I'm seeing from Josh Allen, just with his quieted feet. And this one is just an epitome of the growth from this young kid from last year to this year. Jamal Adams, one of the best in the business, bearing down on you. It's about to be a sack. He does not panic. He does not take the hit. He does take a small hit and delivers a dime for a touchdown. Here's the other view. I just want you to understand exactly how much pressure this young guy was under as he delivers a dime or a strike for a touchdown. They need more of this. He threw for 415 yards last week against the Seattle Seahawks defense that we know has been giving up a lot of yards. My only issue is this with the Buffalo Bills. 4-minute offense. Can you close out a game? Throwing the football all over the yard, it got you a W this past weekend.
I was looking at those numbers very closely because my opponent in fantasy, had Josh Allen as their QB. We'll get more into that a little later. But D'Angelo Hall, as we look at the other side of this, the Cardinals team, no doubt that Kyler Murray has proven that he is in complete command of that offense, D-Hall.
Oh, yeah, MJ. M-Rob showed us Josh Allen and just the poise that he's shown and the growth that he has. But Kyler Murray, from the moment he stepped into the National Football League, he's proven that he is a problem and that small things come in big packages or big packages come in small sizes because Kyler Murray is just dominating the football field. And when you think about this Bills defense trying to contain him, a little bit different than Russell Wilson that they had to face last week, this kid Kyler Murray is making plays with his feet. M-Rob's been telling me this for years that the quarterback position is changing. Much more athletic guys are coming up the ranks. You've seen it in Little League. When we grew up, the best, most athletic player played the quarterback position, and you're seeing that right now. Teams are drafting these guys out of college who can make plays with their legs as well as their arms, man. And Kyler Murray is a special guy. And you heard him say after that loss to the Dolphins, man, he wasn't satisfied. He wasn't satisfied by any stretch of the imagination. And the kid had 5 incompletions, 21 for 26, over 280 yards, 3 touchdowns in the air, another 100 yards on the ground, and another touchdown. Man, the dudes played awesome, man. In Buffalo, they better get ready because this kid's going to be scrambling all over the place.
No question. And listen, this next wave of young QBs has given us a show over the last couple of weeks. No doubt this week, another one. D-Hall and M-Rob, thanks. But let's take a look at how the playoff picture is shaping up. In the AFC, the Steelers, of course, undefeated, 8-0 in perfect position. The Chiefs, 8-1, Bills, 7-2, Titans, 6-2. And the wild card there would be the Ravens, the Raiders, and the Dolphins. Still in the hunt would be the Browns, the Colts, the Broncos, and the Patriots. On the other side of things, NFC playoff picture, look at the Saints. I'm going to talk to them in just a second. The Seahawks 6-2, as well as the Green Bay and the Eagles. Wild card would be the Bucs, Cards, and the Rams. In the hunt, we got a whole squad there in the NFC. Now the Saints, yes, they came out last week in beautiful position here in the NFC playoff picture. They came out and showed they are not to be taken lightly.
We're underway here in Tampa Bay.
Cris hangs in the pocket, throws wide open. Smith for the touchdown.
It's intercepted. Baltimore picks it off, and that ball's going to be picked off. Malcolm Jenkins gets in on the fun. How many interceptions did you tell me Brady had?
That's Adam Troutman for the touchdown.
Touchdown, Emmanuel Sanders. Touchdown, Josh Hill. Brady again under pressure, rolling out this right, and he's taken down. The Saints continue to make it look easy.
All right, that game caught a lot of us off guard. Check out PFF's NFC South division probabilities heading into that Saints-Bucks game. If the Bucks would have won Sunday night, they would have gone up to a 79% chance of winning the division. With the loss, they go down to 36%. But because the Saints won, they now have a 63% chance of winning that division. All right, let's give a big NFL Total Access hello to Cris Collinsworth, who's joining us today. Of course, Maurice Jones-Drew as well, but, Cris is in the building. No disrespect. MJD. We'll get that to a little bit. All right. You called the Saints and Bucks game on Sunday night, Cris, and saw the craziness firsthand, without question. Very off-brand performance, I would say, for the Buccaneers. 3 points. Nobody expected that. Who are the Bucks, and what was the biggest takeaway for you from that matchup?
Is the game over yet? That would be my first question, because it felt like Al and I are like, how many stories do we have left in the bucket that we can tell here? That game was over so fast, and you just never see that with Tom Brady, right? That just never happens. And this team that is so used to running the football effectively, going with some play action off of it, blitzing on the defensive side. And I think I'm correct in saying this now. Tom Brady has 7 interceptions on the year, and 5 of them by the Saints. He had 2 in the first game, 3 in this game. So maybe it's just one of those matchup issues. They were missing their guard, Ali Marpet, who without question is their best offensive lineman and the best left guard in football. Maybe that made them shy away, maybe because they were behind. But let's give the New Orleans Saints a little credit. They beat them every way you can beat a team. I mean, they had Tom Brady on his back. He was under pressure. He was really struggling to get anything going. And I think the thing that surprised me more than anything else, MJ and MJD, is that they didn't fire back. You know, I mean, usually when you get behind in the game, you go, oh, what the heck, man, let's just sit in the house. Let's try and get a sack fumble. Let's try and get something. They actually did it once, and Shaq Barrett got one, and they went down and they couldn't score from 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. So very uncharacteristic. In horse racing in Kentucky, they say, throw it out, right? Every once in a while, it's one of those games. Don't watch the tape. Put it in the garbage can. Just throw that race out. And I think that's what we're going to have to do here with this. And other than that, maybe just the matchup was horrible.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, Chris. When you watch the game, and you did a phenomenal job really talking about it, the Saints were just more aggressive and more physical. And at the end of the day, that's what football, that's how you're going to win games. They got after the quarterback. Yes, you had some injured offensive linemen, but when that happens, you want to lean on your running game more. And obviously, Ronald Jones got taken out quickly. They started leaning on Leonard Fournette, their 3rd down back a little bit. But, I mean, this defense just got after Tom Brady. They just got after everyone. And I felt like it was more because you brought in Antonio Brown. You wanted to kind of show off your new toy. I heard you and Al Michaels talk about that. He needs to fit into this offense. The offense doesn't need to fit him. And I think that's where you got a little some issues going on there. Hopefully they can figure that out because New Orleans right now is riding high, and we all picked the Bucs. So I was one of the guys that picked the Bucs. So I know you Saints fans are upset. But right now, I tell you what, New Orleans is the top team in the NFC, and they're playing like it.
No doubt, MJD. Don't worry. You weren't alone. I picked them, too. We all did. I think Cynthia Freeland was the only one here who picked the Saints. Yeah. But speaking of the Saints, absolute domination by that team in that game. Chris, where do they rank to you among the NFL's best teams?
They flip-flopped. I mean, I was with you guys. I was beginning to think that Tampa Bay might well be the best team in football, that it wasn't a matter for me where they were. It was where I thought they could be, what they were getting everybody back healthy, and they could do so many things so well. But let's face it, and let's give credit to the New Orleans Saints. They were phenomenal. Drew Brees, he had a slow start to the season, and people were justified in saying he is check down Charlie and he's not throwing it down the field. But the last 5 weeks, that 10 to 20 yard intermediate kind of area, now he's got Emmanuel Sanders, he's got Michael Thomas back, and he's got arguably one of the best players in football in Alvin Kamara. They have a lot of ways that they can beat you. And they didn't even really have to do it with Kamara the other night. They were able to diversify the offense, and all those things I was thinking about Tampa Bay going into this game, I came out of the game thinking about the New Orleans Saints. Are they the best team in football now?
Yeah, well, Chris, I'll say this. I don't know about the best team in football because it seems like the AFC, they just play a different brand up there. You talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers and their defense and what they've been able to do. The Kansas City Chiefs, my favorite team now. Patrick Mahomes letting it rip. I just feel like they may be the best team in the NFC, but when you kind of pair them to the Baltimore Ravens and the teams that play that smash mouth style of football, it's a little bit different. So we had this conversation in our call earlier with Mike Robb and D Hall. The AFC is just playing a different brand, and I can't wait to see how this matches up down the road because guess what? The Chiefs do play the Saints in a couple weeks.
Yeah. All right. Listen, this game, we could go on and on about what could have happened, what didn't happen, who was wrong, who was right. But let's switch gears because the Saints take on the 49ers this week. Now, Chris, you've got a podcast with Richard Sherman, one of my favorites, covered him very closely when I was in San Francisco. Let's take a listen to a fun exchange you guys had about Patrick Mahomes in Super Bowl 54.
In the Super Bowl, he threw a slant to Tyreek Hill. You know, I was guarding him. I was bailing because we were in the coverage, and I broke before Tyreek broke, and because I knew where the ball going. I knew what he was about to do. And as I'm breaking to the catch point. So I'm breaking where Tyreek's going. Like it's a slant. I'm about to beat you to the point, and I'm thinking I'm about to intercept the ball. He's midway through the throw and pulls it back towards Tyreek and stops Tyreek in his route. And and you can never see it in like from the naked eye or from the camera view, but it freaking blew me away because I was almost fully committed. I'm fully committed to like, I'm about to intercept this ball and I'm about to go to the house.
I love how Sherm recaps stories. I was like, and then what happened, Sherm? Chris, what have you learned from Richard during your podcast?
Exactly that. He's one of the great storytellers around. You know, he grew up in Compton, and his mom was such a favorite of the neighborhood kids. Whether you were in a gang or anything else, his mom took care of everybody. And the reward for taking care of all those kids in the neighborhood, no matter what their issues were, that they refused to let Richard and his brother into gangs. And Richard went on to be salutatorian at his high school. He's a brilliant guy. You can tell from the conversation. Went on to Stanford. Everything he says about the league, I go, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. And so I think that every single week, I just kind of learn something new from him. I just think he's going to be a media superstar whenever he's ready to do it.
Whenever he's ready now. He already is one of the guys that you know you can go to. He's always going to keep it real and tell it to you 100%. All right, MJD and Chris, both of you hang on because we have a lot more, and we'll get to pick Chris Collinsworth's brain a little later. Coming up next, how one game can change everything.
The defense puts the Ravens right back in the game.
The Ravens avoided a second straight loss in Indy. The Patriots avoided total disaster in Jersey.
It's good as time expires.
This week, they can't avoid each other. Chris Collinsworth will call that game Sunday night. He'll call out the matchup to watch after the break. We'll also show you why a Thursday night tie isn't out of the question. Plus, is the AFC's top seed not the AFC's top team? And if it's hard enough stopping Dalvin Cook with 11 guys, why limit yourself to 10? NFL Total Access is just getting started.
This game tonight. Flacco back to throw. Oh, what a move. Lobs one, right side. Looking for Perriman in the end zone. He's got it. That's a Jet touchdown. Cam takes the snap. He's going to try to push on the stick. Off the right side. He gets in. Touchdown. And the Patriots have drawn even with the Jets. Flacco feels the pressure and he's taken down.
Horrible offensive series for the Jets.
The Patriots are going to give Folk a chance here with a 51-yard try. The snap delivers. The placement. Swing of the right leg. Kick is driven to the uprights. Right down the middle. It's good. And the Patriots win it.
Boy, did the Patriots ever need that win. Holy moly.
All right, as promised, we're back with Chris Collinsworth and Maurice Jones-Drew. Now, the Patriots avoided losing to a winless Jets team last night, but just barely. Now, Chris, you got the Patriots Sunday night when they host the Ravens. What do you make of this new Patriots team and the challenges for Bill Belichick without Tom Brady?
I guess so. Tom Brady's been phenomenal. He's been in the hunt for MVP until he played that game last week, and probably still is. But it's a transition. I mean, you can tell it's a transition. Look at the names around Cam Newton here. Jacoby Myers goes off in this game for about 160 yards. But Bill Belichick knows exactly what he is looking to do here. This is a lesser team than what he has had by far in years past. But I thought Cam Newton played one of his better games that I've seen him play. He was accurate with the football. He's been incredibly humble when talking about this team. He's never pointed the finger at anybody. They don't have weapons on the outside. They're pretty good at the running back position. And yet they're staying competitive and made a big comeback in this game. I think this is probably, for Bill Belichick, one of the games he's going to remember as being most proud of one of his football teams. Yes, it was against the Jets, but this is a team that, we've got to see week to week, can they hang in there? They fought their way through this one.
Yeah, Chris, you're exactly right. And to be quite honest with you, I feel like there are only a couple games out where it was a one-score game. I know the Denver Broncos was one. The Seattle Seahawks was another one that they could have won those games, and their schedule would be completely different. But it's hard to play quarterback when you don't have many weapons around you, at least highly drafted weapons or big touted free agents. And Cam Newton's been doing that his whole career. So hopefully they can get guys going. I see that they love to run the ball. They have 5 guys that can tote the rock. They just got to keep that going and try to, allow that defense and special teams to win games.
All right, so as we look ahead to that Patriots-Ravens game, what matchup will you be watching closely? Chris, you go first.
Whoever has the assignment of trying to stop Lamar Jackson, it's a show, right? I mean, I feel like I'm showed up at the circus or something. They have so many different people going in so many different directions that if the right guard and the backside tight end pull across the formation, you fake the handoff over here to the right tackle. Now you might get Lamar Jackson going out there. Then it might be a screen pass back there. I mean, I don't know. I sit there. One of the things we'll do in the game is we'll sort of put the camera right behind one of the middle linebackers and go, okay, you try to figure out where this ball is going, because you have 4 or 5 people running each direction, and you can just watch these middle linebackers. They're kind of going, well, who has the ball? So I love doing Baltimore games. I really do. I think this is one of the most exciting offenses that we see.
Chris, for me, it's going to be the Ravens. Really, is Lamar versus that Patriots secondary. They struggled a little bit throwing the ball as of late, and I feel like they lost their identity along the way. I mean, last year around this time, the Baltimore Ravens were rolling. They were pummeling people. Can Lamar Jackson continue to throw the ball and have a little bit more success throwing the ball outside the numbers and down the field? To be honest with you, he struggled. And so let's see if they can get that back going, because his secondary has been picked on a little bit, as we're seeing with some of these highlights. Can he take advantage like, his predecessor, Joe Flacco? So we'll see how it goes.
I love that aspect of it, too. Who will be able to get to Lamar Jackson, if at all? Definitely one of the things I'll be looking for. All right, MJD and Cris, thanks so much. Cris, you're spoiling us a little bit here because we actually get him one more time later in the show.
Give it to Henry. Wow! He is the baddest man in the NFL! Touchdown for the Colts. Zach Pascal. It's picked off by the Colts. Kenny Moore runs it into the end zone for a touchdown. Intercepted. The Butler did it. What a move. Yes. TD for CD. Touchdown. INDY. And it's Jonathan Taylor. A.J. Brown with play strength to spare. Touchdown.
Thursday night, a division showdown. Phillip Rivers and the Colts taking on Derrick Henry and the Titans. Thursday night football, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. That's on Fox, NFL Network, and streaming on Prime Video. Let's open up the playbook on this game. Brian Baldinger with me. Now, everyone at home, if you haven't followed Baldy on Twitter yet, don't know what you're waiting for. His breakdowns on there, some of the best you'll ever see. Baldy, huge divisional game here Thursday night, the Colts and the Titans. What are you watching in this one?
Well, I like to see how, the Colts handle the blitz game right now. I mean, Tennessee doesn't have a great pass rusher right now. Jadeveon Clowney really hasn't been that guy. They got rid of Vic Beasley. Harold Landry's been all right. So they're going to have to go to the blitz, I think, in order to pressure this week. And I want to see if the Colts can handle the pressure better than they did last week. I mean, last week, here's Chris Board, the middle linebacker, coming, and they wanted to move Phillip Rivers off the spot. So they take Pernell McPhee here, MJ, and they get him in the passing lane. Now Rivers doesn't have a place to go with the ball. And once they got him off the spot, he wasn't accurate with the ball. And that was a big part of their game plan, get him moving, and so that he didn't have a stationary target there. Now this is 4th and 1, and they blitz off both edges right here. They want to drag the tight end across the formation. Trey Burton, he's open, but Phillip Rivers doesn't have time to get him the ball. And, when they come after him, they come full speed here. Off the edge, you get Matt Judon on one side, Malik Harrison on the other, and Rivers just doesn't have time to get this ball out of his hand, and the ball goes nowhere. And so here, the Ravens overloaded to the weak side here. They're going to bring 4 to the weak side. And all they did, and all they wanted to do, was to get Rivers moving. And once they got him moving right here, he just threw that ball into the ground, said, I'll just go to the next down. And then this blitz right here with the safety, both inside linebackers. The Colts don't do a bad job, actually, at picking this all up. They have protected Phillip Rivers, for the most part, very well. But even with time, Phillip Rivers missed a shot here, I thought, to Michael Pittman Jr. Down the middle of the field with no safety in the post. And they missed some opportunities. But, 10 points last week with an offensive line that has protected well. But against the blitz last week, they got Phillip Rivers to move, MJ, and that was their game plan, and it worked for them.
Ooh, Let's see if they can repeat that. What did I tell you guys about his breakdowns? Baldy, thank you. All right, let's get to some next-gen stats powered by AWS. So here's another good matchup to watch Thursday night. According to next-gen stats, Derrick Henry gained plus 136 rush yards over expected in weeks 6 through 9, which is second most in the league. He's going up against a Colts defense that has allowed negative 0.99 rush yards over expected per attempt this season, which is the fewest in the NFL. This game is going to be a good one. All right, you're watching NFL Total Access. I'm MJ Acosta-Ruiz. Thanks for making the time to hang with us a little today. After the break, you'll be glad you did. Mike Robb, D. Hall, and Cris Collinsworth go players only. Talking MVP. Who is it? And did your answer change after Sunday? That's next. All right, check out PFF's top 5 graded QBs through week 9. Aaron Rodgers leading off the group. Russell Wilson right behind him. Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen round out the group, respectively. All right, time now for players only. Rob, take it away, my friend.
Thank you, MJ. Hold up, D-Hall. We missing somebody, man. Hey, I thought it was Cris was supposed to be.
Missing somebody.
Cris, where you at, brother? Where you at, man?
You gotta slide in,
wait. Oh, there it is. Oh, hold up, man. You went past the shot, Cris. Hold up. You went past
It's dangerous. It's dangerous sliding like that, man. You can't just tie. It's not shuffleboard. You can't always get it right into the triangle, you know?
I see, man. It takes some skill to do that, man. Well, look, we're gonna talk MVP race. I think before Sunday, Russell Wilson was the clear favorite. Cris, I'll start this one off with you. Who's your MVP favorite during the second part of the season?
I want to say Russ because he's made more big plays than anybody, right? He's the CEO. If you walk in a room, you walk in a room with Russell Wilson, and he was sitting at the head of a board table, and you had every executive from around the country, you would go, yeah, okay, that's the CEO. I get it. That's Russell Wilson. He plays the game the same way. He's in total control, but he also has this sort of bombs away mentality. And he calls them the moon balls, which I got in trouble in social media. I got crushed. No matter which game I do, as soon as the game's over, I go on social media and go, all right, what stupid thing did I say today that I didn't realize it was so stupid? So when they were playing Arizona, it was like I kept calling it the moon ball, and they thought it was my word. That's not my word. That's his word. He says that's the moon ball. They throw it in. They drop it in. So, but he has been, I think, consistently the guy that has elevated his team more than anybody with what he has around. And remember, defensively, they're really struggling on that side of the ball, so he's having to put up 30, 35, 40 points in order to win these games.
Hey, Cris, let me play devil's advocate for you because not often do we want to give non-quarterbacks, right, that MVP kind of credentials beside their name.
What are you talking about, D-Hall?
Oddly enough, the last non-quarterback to be an MVP was Adrian Peterson, Minnesota Viking running back, beat out Peyton Manning. I see a dude by the name of Dalvin Cook that dons that Minnesota jersey, man, and he's been playing lights out. When I think about the impact he means to that team, I played on a team with Kirk Cousins. He's good enough, but just quite on that edge that you gotta have another lead dog, man. And Dalvin Cook, what he's been doing the last couple of weeks, man, it's been amazing to watch. Because this is a dude, Cris, who's not much bigger than me, man, and I'm a 5'10", 200-pound corner, and to watch Dalvin Cook go out there down after down, making guys miss, running through arm tackles. A home run hitter can go 70 yards at the drop of a dime, shows up in the passing game. I want to see a dude like Dalvin Cook. I know MVPs go to guys who teams are have the chance to win Super Bowls, but Dalvin Cook is a problem.
All right, I changed my mind.
Yes, he is.
No.
He is a problem, Cris. I love doing players only with you two because, I mean, Cris, you pick my former quarterback and Russell Wilson, and D-Hall, you pick a running back, man. But are we forgetting about Patrick Mahomes? Is it just because we're just so used to him putting up 350, 400 yards every single week? He does it every single week. He still has 25 touchdowns and only 1 interception. And the most important record, what are they? 8-1 right now? So I think we're forgetting about a man by the name of Patrick Mahomes out in Kansas City, man. We can't forget about him. But But Chris, look, man,
and he
for
has
all
the
of us
best
here at Total
jumper
Access
since Larry Bird.
He said he got the best jumper.
Yes, he does, man. Hey, Chris, from everybody here at Total Access, thank you for being a part of us tonight. We appreciate you joining us. Great stuff, great analysis as always. We'll be watching you Sunday night. Ravens, Patriots on NBC. MJ.
All right, thanks, M-Rob. And we got the slide. This is NFL Total Access, and we've got two of our favorite segments coming up. Our weekly fantasy segment called The Checks List, and our weekly gripe session called No Disrespect. Here's an example. No disrespect, MJ, but compared to Kimmy Checks, your fantasy team is trash. That's why Kimmy is giving advice, and I'm not. That's next.
Chase Winovich just threw him out of the club. Goodbye.
Be one heck of a bouncer, wouldn't he?
Brady is taken down. Khalil Mack steps up and gets a sack.
Yeah, against the rookie, Tristan Wirfs, and gets body slammed there.
Oh, that's painful.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. What was he thinking?
That's a touchdown off the board.
Hurdle a player in the Colts will have none other than Darius Leonard.
Not
just
today.
throwing him right back to the turf. And the maniac says, nuh-uh, what are you thinking?
With a stiff arm, throws a man down. He took him off of his feet. Oh, my goodness.
He just made Josh Norman reconsider whether or not he wanted to play again.
Yeah, you guys already know what time it is. It's time for No Disrespect. Before we get there, though, we have to introduce our fourth member, and let me do it right. He was first team All-Big East Center out of Rutgers, All-Pro in 2008, three-time Pro Bowler and Super Bowl champion for your New York Football Giants. Sean O'Hara, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NFL Total Access. How you feeling?
What's up? What's up, fam?
All right, good.
Hey, appreciate you guys let me show up.
No problem. Mike Rob, start it off for us, please.
Okay, no disrespect. And you know what? I really could say no disrespect to the entire New York Jets. But I'm just going to talk about one play. It happened this past weekend. They were up by 10. And they have 12 men on the field on a field goal attempt for the New England Patriots trying to cut into their lead. Now, luckily for them, just a couple of more plays went, and then they just went and kicked the field goal again. But, man, no disrespect. Jets, what's going on, dog? Y'all are – I was going to say y'all
cheating,
better than that,
you ain't
but
trying.
I don't know.
Maybe they ain't better than that. Hey, look, man, no disrespect, but this dude was in my draft class in 2004, and I said, hey, man, I don't think he's supposed to be on the field. He ain't playing too bad, but come on, bro. And Chuck Clark, shout out Chuck Clark from my alma mater, Virginia Tech, VA boy. But Phillip Rivers, what you doing, man? Come on, bro. No disrespect, Phillip Rivers, but show me a little bit more athleticism than that, man. I know it wasn't your fault, but help get the man down, man. No disrespect, Phillip Rivers. Oh, my goodness, man.
It ain't his fault. All right, no disrespect to the Detroit Lions, but how you going to let Dalvin Cook put 2 bills on you, and then you got to go out there with 10 guys on the field, all right? I mean, this is unbelievable. You knew Dalvin Cook was going to try to tote the rock, and they've got 10 dudes. How about all these runs over 10 yards? 5 of them were against the 8-man box, but, man, the Detroit Lions, they just can't count, apparently.
All right, guys, here we go. Listen, I'm a big Jameis Winston fan, and I know we all got on him because he ate a W, right? And I was like, you know what? He might have been hungry. He skipped pregame meal. I get it. But no disrespect, Jameis Winston. You don't eat off of another man's plate. You don't interrupt Drew Brees' press conference after he did what he did and then eat a W right in front of him. No disrespect, Jameis Winston. I want you to get paid, but that's not going to work, MJ. I don't know how we solve this.
And you know he hasn't washed his hands.
Jameis for me.
That's what I'm
hands
saying,
are dirty.
son. He took the last snaps.
Ate the W.
He's been taking snaps.
All right, MJ, back to you.
All right, y'all are a mess. And no disrespect, guys, but Kimmy Checks and I will take it from here with the checks list. Kimmy, I'm just going to say these matchups aren't working out for me. I'm very good at picking games, not great at picking a roster. Colleen Wolfe schooled me this week with Josh Allen and Christian McCaffrey on her team. I'm not even going to – please just let us know who's on the Week 10 waiver wire. Like it would even help me to get any of these guys.
Just brush it off, accept the L. Let me help you out. I'm going to give you a wide receiver, a quarterback, and a running back. Let's start it off with Curtis Samuel. He's only rostered in 22% of NFL.com leagues, but he finished as the 5th wide receiver this week. He has a favorable matchup, so go grab him and start him. The next guy is Tua. I know you're going to love this one because you're a Miami girl. It's Tua time down in Miami, and you should look to grab him on the waiver wire. He's available in 77% of NFL.com leagues. Huge upside because of his rushing capabilities and rushing into the end zone. Last one, J.D. McKissic. Love this guy. I know Antonio Gibson is also running back in this offense, but look at the favorable matchup this week against the Detroit Lions. They're allowing the most fantasy points to running backs this season. Grab them, plug them in, rack up the points. Hopefully you come home with a dub at some point.
I'm trying to see if any of these guys are available in our league. It is all women, all sports girls. You know it's cutthroat. All right, you can catch Kimmy and the rest of the NFL Fantasy Live gang weekdays at 6 p.m. Eastern right here on NFL Network. Time now for the Pepsi Rookie of the Week nominees. And here they are. Oh, we just talked about him. Look at my boy Tua up on the board. Justin Herbert as well. Jerry Jeudy, James Robinson, and Jake Luton. Go to NFL.com to vote. The winner will be announced on Friday right here on NFL Total Access. We are ready to declare a winner in some hotly contested divisional races. Is it way too? We have division race alert right now. Okay, guys, we are in the second half of the season, so let's take a look at some division races that will come down to the wire. Rob, what division are you looking at?
I'm looking at the AFC South, MJ, and I really think the Tennessee Titans, they come away with the AFC South now. They have a gauntlet the next 4 games. You got Indy twice, and you have Baltimore and Cleveland in those 4 games. You make it out of those games, I think you're in a pretty good position to win the AFC South. Now, again, you know what the ingredients is. Run Derrick Henry. Downhill with Derrick Henry, and then be explosive in the play-action game with Ryan Tannehill, who is balling out of control in the play-action game as of late. And then on defense, hold teams under 25 points. I think you'll be good.
Hey, for me, guys, it is the NFC South, man, my old stomping grounds. And we just saw the Saints have a battle with, well, what we thought was supposed to be a battle with the Buccaneers. But look, don't write the Bucs off, man. The way these two team schedules break down between the Saints and the Bucs, it's going to be a race down there at the end. Both of them have 3 division opponents left. We know how pesky those Falcons can be, especially when you're talking about going up against the Saints. For some reason, they just seem to have their number the same way you've seen the Saints have Tampa Bay number. So I do have the Saints winning the division now, but I do have the ability to change my mind because that Tampa defense, I still believe in those guys.
Man, D-Hall, you're still on that pirate ship. All right, let's keep it in the NFC. I'm going to go to the NFC West. Look, Seattle is still in first place in that division, even though they just got spanked by the Bills. But you can see right there in the standing, they're at 6-2. I think Seattle goes ahead and holds on to this divisional lead. I think they end up winning the division. But they've got some powder puff games coming up. They're playing 3 teams in the NFC East. They're also playing the Jets, so they've got an easier road. But after that shellacking against Buffalo, where they just gave up 44 points, now they're flying all the way back home, and then they got to play the Rams, who are coming off the bye week. So keep an eye on these LA Rams, all right? They have 5 divisional games left in their schedule, and in the second half of the season, you know Sean McVay's got this offense rocking and rolling, and of course we know Aaron Donald can single-handedly destroy a game. We heard Cris Collinsworth give his vote for Russell Wilson being the MVP. He may just have to carry this entire Seahawks team to win that divisional title and get that hat and T-shirt.
I commend your use of descriptive words to show off that Bills-Seahawks game. Thanks, guys. All right, a couple important pieces of business to knock out before the break or after the break. First of all, why don't the power rankings reflect the playoff picture? And secondly, what did we learn in Week 9 that will make us smarter football fans in Week 10? This is NFL Total Access.
NFL.
See it. The Miami Dolphins' new Challenge Cancer movement will make a $75 million donation benefiting the life-changing work of the Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center. This is the largest gift by a sports organization and will set the stage for a year-round effort to raise funds to benefit Sylvester. And we have an update to a story we brought you yesterday. Bills fans have donated $200,050 and counting to the Oshai Children's Hospital in honor of QB Josh Allen's grandmother, Patricia Allen, who passed away last week. All right, let's get to our Tuesday takeaways presented by Axe, MJD, and MRob. All right, guys, week 9 officially done. What's your biggest takeaway? MJD, you first.
Your Miami Dolphins are serious. Hey. I can tell you that much right now. And I know Mike Robb's the president of the Buffalo Bills fan club, and that's okay. They better keep playing well because Miami Dolphins on defense are stopping. They're holding teams. They're getting to the quarterback. They're scoring on defense. And then Tua is playing like he did as a freshman in Alabama. You come in the big game and you just throw the big throw and it's okay. Like, they're playing lights out right now. And yes, they're banged up on the back end, but they have 2 really good receivers in Devontae Parker and Preston Williams. They have playmakers on that team that are showing up week in and week out. I can't wait to see that game again, the Buffalo Bills versus the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, Miami's doing their thing, and I know you try to take up all the time, so I wouldn't say anything about Buffalo. But look, check this out. Y'all need to all check out that tape, Buffalo Bills against the Seattle Seahawks. I think the way Buffalo defended Russell Wilson, it gives us a glimpse into how defenses are going to start defending these dynamic quarterbacks. 5 sacks, a number of other hits, and you take the fight to these types of quarterbacks. I'm interested in seeing how defenses do that going forward.
All right, my takeaway is don't jump to conclusions, guys, especially in several of these divisions. You mentioned it right there, MJD. The Bills have not run away with that. The Patriots, let's see. They still got the brain, the genius of Bill Belichick there. And Dalvin Cook and the Vikes, they could still move up.